Modern agriculture left plows and dirt behind a long time ago. Today, you are looking at a massive, interconnected machine of global economics, advanced biotechnology, and climate science. And if you're teaching an Intro to Ag course, you're expected to distill all of it for a room full of freshmen. You are asked to be a generalized expert in soil chemistry on Monday, agribusiness on Wednesday, and animal genetics by Friday. This is where Just the Facts Introduction to Agriculture, 3rd edition, comes in. It is built to be an out-of-the-box curriculum anchor for these exact survey courses. Relying on a single textbook creates a real dilemma. Can one book actually hit the national AFNR standards across 32 different subjects without overwhelming your beginners or eating up 20 hours of your weekend lesson planning? Finding the right foundational text is your best retention tool, both for keeping young students engaged in the ag pathway and for keeping yourself from burning out. Consider the footprint of this book. It spans 32 chapters, starting from basic plant science and soil taxonomy all the way through specialized livestock production and global agricultural policy. We can map this. Curriculum scope is on the vertical axis, narrow to broad, and instructional level on the horizontal, introductory to advanced. Just the Facts lands squarely in this top left quadrant, providing a highly broad scope mapped explicitly for the introductory level. Practically speaking, that placement dictates your classroom pacing. You are forced into a brisk momentum. With 32 chapters to cover, you simply cannot linger for 3 weeks on soil pH or hydroponic setups. By adopting this text, you make a specific trade. You give up the hyper-specialized depth of a single subject book in exchange for a comprehensive, surface-level survey that touches every corner of the industry. Agriculture education is actively moving away from traditional memorization and stepping into modern, technology-driven ecosystems. This text bridges that gap. It retains the vital historical foundations. You still get chapters on animal taxonomy, binomial nomenclature, and basic soil profiling, but it pairs that history with modern realities. This illustration from the text shows smart agriculture systems, highlighting how connected drones and automated tractors are now standard curriculum. That modernization introduces a pedagogical trade-off. Chapter 30 tackles issues in agriculture, presenting concentrated animal feeding operations and the debate between animal welfare and animal rights. The text puts these controversies on the desk, requiring you to actively mediate sensitive social discussions in class. That blend of foundational science and active controversy is exactly what keeps a 101 curriculum from feeling outdated to a 21st century student. Student experience is only half the equation. We have to look at what your weekend looks like as a time-poor generalist teacher. The book embeds activities specifically to lighten your prep load. In the soil conservation chapter, it uses historical events like the Dust Bowl to prompt discussions on cultural farming practices, directly linking past disasters to modern conservation techniques. To minimize physical lesson planning, the book relies heavily on digital infrastructure. This printed QR code is featured directly on the page, allowing you and your students to seamlessly link from the physical text to digital slide decks and shortened URLs. The inherent trade-off of this digital reliance is maintenance. Your students must have reliable device access, and you have to routinely verify that these external web links haven't broken before the bell rings. The math works out in your favor. Managing a few broken links takes minutes. Building interactive lessons from scratch takes hours. Utilizing these baked-in multimedia activities yields a high return on your limited prep time. Today, high school agriculture programs face intense administrative pressure to map their curriculum directly to tangible career outcomes and economic viability. This graphic in the text shows direct integration of the National Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, or AFNR, Career Cluster Content Standards. It categorizes specialized pathways, breaking down areas like agribusiness and power systems, so students see exactly where science applies to the job market. A feature versus outcome matrix shows how this works in practice. Teaching a module like Chapter 31 on careers provides the lesson, and it directly checks off required state and national standards, transforming textbook inputs into compliant classroom outcomes. There is an ideological trade-off to this approach. It forces 14-year-old students to think about economic output and career tracking very early in their educational journey, rather than exploring the science for its own sake. For a generalist program, having a textbook that automatically aligns a broad survey course with national standards justifies that heavy career focus. Ultimately, your decision to adopt this text should be based entirely on your specific pedagogical needs. We can map out the ideal adoption scenario. If you are a time-poor generalist tasked with building an Ag 101 survey course for 9th or 10th graders, and you need built-in activities, this is a perfect fit. On the other hand, if you are a depth seeker teaching an advanced single-subject course, this text serves as a secondary reference only. Instructors running strictly equine science or greenhouse management practicums will find the chapters here lacking the granular, technical depth required to pass upper-level industry certifications. Just the Facts is designed to be an optimization tool for breadth and standard compliance. It is not a substitute for a masterclass in a single discipline. This textbook trades deep, specialized focus for an out-of-the-box comprehensive overview. It serves as a strong anchoring mechanism, effectively bridging the gap between historical farming practices and 21st century agricultural tech realities. For overworked educators needing immediate classroom utility, the high return on investment for your prep time is the deciding factor. When you are faced with the overwhelming task of introducing students to the sheer scale of global agriculture, this textbook provides the exact structural scaffolding you need to get the job done.